Thank you for having me.
The best argument I've heard in favor of net neutrality is that the internet as we know it today, the things that most people consume, whether it be on Facebook or Netflix or Amazon or those kinds of companies, came about because small startups had access to this fantastic internet. And that if we were to impose the ability to slow down some parts of the internet or speed it up for money, we may end up freezing the internet in time, in that these big companies exist as big companies and they'll never be a real competitor to Facebook or Google or Amazon.
Right. So there's a lot of hype and it's very confusing. It gets very legal very quickly. So what the FCC did in February of 2015 was put a 1934 law, the Communications Act of 1934, a part of it called Title II, onto broadband internet networks. So, but before that, that's when all those companies you just cited were actually, started in dorm rooms and then became some of the world's largest corporations. And so they did that before this Title II thing. So the term, by the way, net neutrality has no legal definition. So the question is, before February of 2015, what worked? How did this ecosystem work to allow those entrepreneurs to do all that?
Right. We didn't use as much bandwidth. Part of the issue is that everything we do now uses internet bandwidth. That's been coming over the years.
And before February 2015 as well. So you have the Federal Trade Commission Act, for instance. You have the Clayton Act and the Sherman Act. Those are three very powerful federal statutes that kept the internet open and free prior to February of 2015. To hear some people talk today, you'd think the internet started in February of 2015 with Title II. And that's not the case. What Title II has done, in the wireless space anyway, has reduced investment in the past 2 years by 18%. So that's not a figure for debate. And this is a crucial time for wireless as we make the transition to the fifth generation or 5G technologies, which will be faster than cable service provides today at a gig per second. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic for consumers, but we need about $300 billion over the next decade to build out those networks. And every independent Wall Street analyst I have spoken with has said that Title II, the sword of Damocles of possible rate regulation, and the 1,000 or so requirements of Title II has created tremendous uncertainty. So the Commission is not putting consumers at risk, and certainly not entrepreneurs at risk.
But it doesn't really. But it does. But Robert, that's just not true. That's just not true.
That is true.
If Facebook wants to say that they'll spend $1 billion to subsidize your internet plan so that you pay less for your monthly fee, but Facebook gets preferential treatment. If I decide to launch a competitor, Facebook, and I'm a startup and I don't have that money to pay, I could get slow speed. And at some point, someone will say, why would you ever use my service as opposed to the existing one that paid for the fast lane?
Section 1 and Section 2 of Sherman Act and Section 3 of Clayton Act. You just triggered all three of those sections. That would be an antitrust violation. Federal Trade Commission could go after them also under Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act. That was against the law before February of 2015, and it'll be against the law as of today.
Why would it be against the law for somebody to pay for faster service? That's exactly what net neutrality protected against.
It's actually, and there's a lot of myths regarding Title II. Actually, Title II would have allowed that. That doesn't prevent discrimination. It prevents unreasonable, unjust discrimination. So that you can buy in bulk, you could get a volume discount as you could with old phone service. So that's another myth about Title II. It actually would help the bigger players and harm the smaller players. But back to the rest of it, which is if it's anti-competitive, if you're raising rivals' costs, or if you're entering into exclusive arrangements that harms competition or consumers, those statutes that I just mentioned would all be triggered, and it would be against the law.
But if you're an AT&T customer, you get certain DirecTV products at a discounted rate, or you can stream HBO. I mean, it's just what you're saying. It's a lot. You're dropping a lot of legal names, but the fact is it does happen. So to tell me that it's illegal to do that, that's not true.
But no, it is true. Bundling services is different.
It's not true. People bundle the services they own. Why does AT&T offer DirecTV for free as opposed to Verizon TV for free?
They can bundle services. What they can't do is they shut out other people. So back to wireless. Everybody is zero rated right now because it's unlimited. You have unlimited data plans right now. Okay, so that whole argument is gone about whether or not some wireless provider is going to discriminate.
They throttle back after a certain amount of usage. I don't feel like we're having a really fair conversation here. I'm trying to have a conversation on the merits of the principle of unintended consequences of reversing net neutrality, and you're dropping a lot of legalese. We know full well that sometimes the Federal Trade Commission
legalese on the merits, that's what's at play here. And maybe you haven't read these laws, you don't understand.
I'm very familiar with net neutrality, Robert. I'm really not that familiar being condescended on about the whole thing. I'm trying to say that there's a danger of unintended consequences. I am not saying that these companies want to pillage the internet. I'm saying there is a danger of unintended consequences. You like light touch regulation because you say that's largely been what's worked to get the internet to where it is right now.
Exactly.
There is a danger whenever you switch things. It doesn't make it right or wrong of not enabling the same kind of growth that we have all become accustomed to in the last 15 years on the internet.
Look, before February of 2015, there weren't asteroids hitting the internet every day. In fact, quite the opposite. It was blossoming beautifully. So that was the Clinton-Gore administration policy. That was bipartisan consensus for 20 years, and that's what gave us all these wonderful internet experiences we have today. What confused things was Title II, the imposition of Title II in February of 2015, and that's what's being reversed. Consumers and entrepreneurs will be protected. All the fact patterns, this isn't legalese, all the fact patterns you gave me are the parade of horribles, are illegal. They were illegal before February of 2015, and then they're illegal today going forward.
I just gave you fact patterns of companies that bundle their own goods and give them preferential treatment. So the point is, for every point you make, I can make another one. It would be much more useful for us to have a broader conversation about whether or not there may be unintended consequences to reversing net neutrality, right?
Okay, so
we're not in a court of law
DOJ
right now. There's no judge in front of us.
I understand, but to your point, which is you're saying consumers are unprotected. That's just not true.
I did not make that argument once. I'm not sure why you think I made that. I've only made one argument, and it's about startups and entrepreneurial companies. I didn't say consumers. So you've come to this show ready for an argument that I'm not giving you.
Okay, well, then the argument you're making is entrepreneurs are unprotected, and that's not true.
That's
as a matter
exactly
of law.
The argument I'm making. I'm worried about freezing the internet at a point in time because established players have the money to subsidize the ability to give people a lower rate.
Isn't the argument violations of 3 federal statutes that I just gave?
So there's no way
that's why it didn't happen before.
But that's one of the arguments for people in favor of removing net neutrality is that consumers will get more choice in the plans that they can buy. Why would they get more choice in plans if someone's not either subsidizing or able to be excluded from a particular plan? Why would I be able to drop what I pay on a monthly basis for internet if I'm not going to lose something for it?
Well, let's rewind the tape a little bit, which is, okay, so you're talking about consumers and entrepreneurs and discrimination in favor of your own product, like a Comcast product.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I think we need to rewind and have this conversation again at some point because you're making an argument that I'm not making. I'm saying that if someone has an advantage in streaming their content over the internet, an established player has an advantage because they've got the money to be able to buy better, faster, quicker access or prevent somebody else from getting it, that the incumbent is favored over the startup. That's the only point I wanted to make. That's the only point I'm making.
And that would be illegal. That's the point I'm making. What you just said is already illegal. It has been for a long time and will be going forward. So it's good news.
Yeah,
sorry, it's good news.
I'm not sure you and I are interpreting the same
well, I know it's good clickbait to say the internet's being destroyed, but it's not.
But Robert, I didn't say that. I don't know why you're coming on TV to have an argument that I'm not having. I didn't say the internet's being destroyed.
You just said preferred.
I said free.
An ISP. If it's preferred, if you're favoring one over another, that's a violation of the law.
This would have been a much better conversation if we were just actually having the conversation
we
that we could have had.
I'm trying to teach you about the state of the law, which is what's going on today.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Robert McDowell was former FCC commissioner from 2006 until 2013. Didn't say it was a catastrophe. I love the internet. I didn't say it was. I don't know who you're.
It's going to be great.
Maybe he can't hear me. Maybe he's hearing.